It's time for the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. Blake Sloan, one of the top real estate agents not only on the Grand Strand, but in the world. He's been featured in Forbes magazine, The Wall Street Journal, NBC, and many other publications. And now, the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. Welcome in once again for another edition of the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. Over the next 30 minutes, all sorts of great information. If you're looking to buy, you're looking to sell, or even thinking about selling, this will be the time to be listening over the next 30 minutes. You're going to be hearing some great info, and you're going to want to get in touch with Blake. You can at his office at Sloan Realty Group. The phone number is 843-808-SOLD, 843-808-SOLD, or go online to blakesloan.com. blakesloan.com. If you didn't get the info that first time around, not a problem. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll repeat it several times, so get it next time. All right, time now to get that show started. Here he is, Blake Sloan.
Good morning, everyone. Got an awesome brand new show. We've had a wild week within my team. My team closed 16 homes this past week, and so smoking, right? Coming into the end of that, we'll celebrate a few of those in the show. One person on my team closed 4. But anyways, kicking some big time butt going into the last part of the summer season. And we're prepping right now for the big fall season that's coming in. A whole different type of buyer that kind of waits for that big, I guess, the overall flow of guests come from the summertime. Once school goes back in, there's a whole new group of buyers in. So we're prepping for that right now. Tons of people in town. So some awesome news in the mortgage world. We hit 3-year lows for mortgage rates. We'll talk about that. We also have the final numbers in from last month in the overall market numbers. Remember last week we touched on the preliminary numbers. Now we're deep enough in to kind of have the accurate overall numbers, and they're actually pretty good. So we'll talk about that, kind of where they're at in each area. We didn't have time last week. We'll talk about kind of the overall long-term effect of that recent study that came out that said 275,000 more people would move here between now and 2040. Right. I just want to chat a little bit about what that means for our real estate market, how that helps us insulate ourselves in the market based on people coming here and how it breaks down supply and demand. So I got some cool numbers we'll talk about for there as well. And I've been saving this. We've had this on the list for like 4 weeks now, is the top 12 exterior paint colors to sell your home. So I saved some time for the end for that for it as well. And one thing too, though, 2 big, awesome success stories I'll talk about and share. And we're looking to grow and add to our team. We'll talk about if we have time as well.
All right, a lot of stuff to get to. Now, if you just tuned in for the very first time, you don't know who this Blake Sloan guy is. Well, he's been called the Real Estate Whiz Kid. He's been featured in Forbes magazine, Wall Street Journal, Realtor magazine, other national publications. On TV, you've seen him on NBC, also with Fox and Friends. And yet you've heard the endorsements on this very radio station from Sean Hannity, Glenn Beck, Barbara Corcoran, Gary LaVox, and a whole lot more. Put them all together, it's just unprecedented. Now, as far as his systems are concerned, they are trademarked. He's got trademark systems for buyers and sellers. I'm not going to give you all that information on the air here right now, but if you get involved with him, if you become a part of his teams per se, he'll be able to let you on the inside and let you know what some of the important things are. But he can give you a taste of maybe the most important part of his trademark system.
Yes, this is like my life's work, so to speak, and my calls behind what we do, and really behind the show too, because it comes down to what I've seen in this business in regards to horror stories, and just week after week after week, horror stories I hear from people who try to sell their largest asset unsuccessfully, or they do sell it and they feel like they got ripped off. There's all these horror stories I hear, and everybody kind of has that same distrust for real estate agents sometimes. And it really comes down to one thing. The single most important variable that determines your failure or success as a home seller comes down to one thing only. And that thing is the agent you choose. And why is that? The reality is in selling your home, there's 118 different variables from A to Z. If each one gets handled correctly, guess what that does? That puts money in your pocket, and you keep your hard-earned equity, and the property actually gets sold. Any of those are handled incorrectly, aka that agent drops the ball. That costs you money, costs you hard-earned equity, or what happens is the property does not get sold. And that could be anything from, does the agent answer the phone? Do they price it correctly? Do they respond to online leads within a very certain amount of time? There's all these things that happen in regards to how they execute. And so what you find is you have one single agent trying to juggle all 118 different balls per listing. Well, the challenge with that is, guess what? They have a lot more than one listing. Most agents, especially the so-called top producers, they spend all their time doing one thing. You know what that thing is? Hunting down more listings, not actually servicing the 118 variables on the ones they got. That's why you see such a huge amount of listings, in some cases up to 50% fail to sell in the marketplace. That's why a lot of people don't trust and like real estate agents. So that was a big aha for me years ago. And so what we did is we identified every single of those variables. I looked at it from a business standpoint. If I was a true business, which is what I studied, and looked at outside businesses outside of real estate and really brought that into real estate. And so we said, what is every single variable, and how we log that and create a system that's proven and repeatable that we can build around with people and systems and processes. And so that's exactly what we did. We basically called the guaranteed sold system, reverse engineered every single of those to create maximum leverage at every single point. And so what we do is we create a gap. We create a small gap at point 1, point 2, and point 3. And as you can imagine, over 118 of those, there's a massive gap between us and everyone else. That's what gives you, the home seller, a huge competitive advantage. It's like running a marathon. That's the best analogy I come up with, really, is that everyone takes off at the same time. You have the shotgun start, everyone runs. And what happens over the amount of time is what? Everyone spreads out. Some finish 2 and 3 and 4 hours ahead of the other person. That's the same exact thing that we do from the home selling standpoint. The reality is selling your home is a marathon. Anyone that's been through that has experienced that. It's an up and down roller coaster of emotions. It takes time. And sometimes it takes way too much time. We've experienced some people have their house in the market 3 or 4 years before calling us, riding that roller coaster emotion. So you don't have to do that. We designed the system. It's called the guaranteed sold system. Only proven system to get your home sold twice as fast and for up to 20% more money than traditional methods. But it works very, very, very well. And we have teams on our team, administrative teams, sales teams, both inside and outside, that make sure that we move the process from A to Z and create maximum leverage. So it's like stacking the dominoes. You knock the dominoes out, right? There's a big gap between you and everyone else. And so that's on the seller side. That's how our properties sell much faster and for more money. And on the other side of that, guess what you have? The buyer side. That's what obviously the single most important variable that determines your failure or success as a home buyer comes down to one thing only: the agent you choose. Because there are 100 plus variables on the buy side. I'm not going to go through all of those, but it's the same concept there. If anyone drops the ball, guess what that does? That costs you money, or it costs you the house that you want to actually get acquired. And so we developed the same thing for the buyers called the Unfair Advantage Home Buying System. Yep. Get you priority access to foreclosures, distress sales, desperate sellers, the absolute best negotiation on purchase price, because we use data and tools, things like that, and also in the home inspection process. And so anyone out there that looks for that advantage, you owe it to yourself to reach out to us, learn more. Anyone that's been through that horror story before, don't go through that again. Don't continue to stick through that, right? Reach out, call us, 843-808-SOLD. More than happy to share that and that process and system with you.
All right, coming up in just a second, we'll keep going with the show. We've got great information for you, including what the mortgage rates are looking like, and we'll also look like what we're looking like as far as the market is concerned. I think we might have some stuff in there for you might be interested in. That's all coming up in just a second. You want to get in touch with Blake? You can. Call him at his office. It's 843-808-SOLD, 843-808-SOLD. Or go online to blakesloan.com, blakesloan.com.
Hey, if you were in the market to make the most money for your home, Sean Hannity here with some important advice. Now, look, I'm an active investor. I have bought and sold a lot of properties in hot, cold, moderate markets. And one of the lessons I have learned is this: hire the agent that knows how to create the most demand for your home. Now, if I needed to create demand in this market, no question, there's only one real estate agent I trust if I needed to sell my home. I'm talking about Blake Sloan of Sloan Realty Group. Now, he services the entire Myrtle Beach area, attracts hundreds of buyers every week, and sells a home on average every 24 hours. Now, that helps you generate multiple offers and sell your home for the most money possible. Plus, it's like getting an immediate offer on your home, because if your home doesn't sell for the price and the deadline you agree to, you will have it bought for cash, and he offers flexible fees. Find out how much demand your home can command right now. Call the agent that creates the most demand. Call Blake Sloan today at 808-SOLD. That's 808-SOLD. Or online at blakesloan.com. That's blakesloan.com.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. To sell your home on time for the most money, you need a sharp agent with a marketing strategy that creates the most demand. Bottom line, you need a partner willing to put their own money on the line for you. In Myrtle Beach, I would hire Blake Sloan. His international marketing creates so much demand that if your home doesn't sell at a price and deadline you agree to, Blake will buy it. Partner with the agent I trust. Go online or call and get your home sold.
Just a couple of minutes away to find out what the mortgage rates are looking like this weekend. Well, what are the markets looking like this weekend?
Yeah, so like this is one of the best months we had in the past few months, we had slight declines the past 3 or 4 months, right? Not much, but there was slight decline, and so there was some concern there about it kind of capping off. This month, great news out there for home sellers. So in single-family resale homes, which is what the majority of the marketplace is, right? Single-family resale homes sales were up 1.3% last month, which is awesome. So if you look at the comparison, there were 545 homes sold last month, which is a lot, right? So if yours didn't sell, there's 545 other ones that did sell. And that's just something to kind of always keep in mind there. But for example, to kind of give a comparison, July 2018, there was 538. So we're seeing that number tick back up, which is great. Obviously, that's really probably a wake effect, so to speak, of the interest rates going back down, right, to ridiculously low numbers, which we'll talk about in a minute. But great news overall, 1.3% increase in sales for single-family homes, which is awesome. Other thing there, sales price, this is the best I've seen in a while. Sales price jumped 7.3% last month, which is awesome there. If you remember, it was kind of trickling down where sales were declining a little bit, and the appreciation was slowing down tremendously. Right now, the median price, like I said, up 7.3% at $227,000 even. Great news over there. And what that means is you're coming to a great fall season right now. We couldn't ask for anything better than 3-year interest rate lows to help you with that in that regard. Months of supply also dropped significantly, down 1.9% last month. And so right now, like when you look at the graph here, I'm looking at it's like a cliff. It drops off. It's 5.2 months of inventory, which is great news for home sellers. Why? Because it's always a supply and demand basis, right? So less supply, demand's up. That's going to put pressure on price, which means you get more for your home. But since we've been tracking this all the way back to 2016, the lowest points we've really seen in history really were just kind of giving you some back thought on this. January 2018, there were 4.9 months. And then in December 2018, there were 5.1 months. And then right now, we're at July 2019 with 5.2 months. And it jumped all the way back up to 5.6 months. So right now, we have a huge opportunity because there's a need for inventory. And so part of that comes with that extra push last month. Some properties off the market. So what does that mean? Anything less than 6 months on the marketplace in regards to inventory means it's a seller's market, meaning that you have the advantage as a home seller if it's below 6 months on the market. Right. And so what that run rate is basically just a calculation of if there wasn't one single new property put on the market, how long would it take to sell through everything sitting on the market now? Right now it's at 5.2 months. National average is like 4.4 months right now. But we've still been staying around here for literally the past few years. The lowest I've seen it ever was 4.9 months in January 2018, but it's been hovering around 5.5, 5.4, and again, it was 5.6 months in June, dropped all the way down to 5.2. And so if you're a home seller and you like to play the game to win, that's something you want to tee up in regards to having a lot less inventory. One of the top lowest 3 months we've had since we've been tracking this, along with demand being up and price being up, you can bet there's going to be a pretty good chance you get your property sold for the most amount of money. I'm a dude who's a nerd for data. I study numbers. I like to use the numbers to give our clients huge competitive advantage. And this is one of those times that you want to take advantage of that overall. So great news there overall in that regard. If you look into condo sales last month overall, was pretty flat on the dot. It was down 0.4%. So for example, there's 514 condo sales last month. There were 516 the same month last year. And so it's crazy to watch the numbers, now similar they are, and how much we're kind of a seasonal marketplace overall. Typically, the peak for condos has been May. And so both this year and the year before, May was the peak for condos. It kind of dies back down a little bit in June, July. But the reality is still pretty flat overall in regards to year-over-year sales. The good news there, price is also up 7%. For condos, up $138,750 is the median price, which is great. Where if you look at last year, is at $129. So about $10,000 in equity you're seeing there from that average, which is great overall. Supply bumped up a little bit. It's up 8.7% from last year at 5.0 months. Is still low. I mean, 5 months inventory is still low. If you look back into June, it's 5.2. It dropped back down. And that percentage of increases compared to the same month last year. And so you're seeing that be very, very good opportunity right now. So bottom line is it's still favorable for sellers looking at the overall marketplace in general. And so that's just something we'll kind of keep watching overall as well. Any new construction for homes, again, that data is a little bit flawed just because we're missing some of the data from the major home builders like D.R. Horton, Beazer. They don't report everything to MLS, but It's still enough to kind of keep a feed from last year. New construction last month jumped up 1.1%, which is good news. You remember the past 2 months, we had like a 20% decline back in 2 months ago. And so overall looking pretty good there. Prices up 7.4%. So if you look at condos, homes, resale, and new construction, all of them about 7% across the board increase in prices. And so it means we're still holding off fairly well, where some areas across the country are seeing declines. Again, median price for new construction right now, 272, 655. And so that's great news overall as well. And inventory increased a little bit, went up to 5.6 months inventory for new construction homes, which is really one of the highest we've seen in a while overall. And so there's some opportunity there. The main thing I took from this is just how well the resale home recovered last month. And again, that has to do with interest rates, which I'll kind of jump into right now. Rates we saw, they jumped up a little bit towards the end of the week, but this past week we saw a 3-year low, which is awesome news for everybody. We're seeing people that are refinancing like crazy. I had a client who posted something where they had a bunch of rental properties and they could refi all the rental properties from a 30-year to a 15-year, and the payment only increased $100. And so that was kind of the plan of him doing. So there's a huge opportunity for both our investor clients out there, anyone buying, first-time home buyers. It's unbelievable. You don't realize how low the payment would be. A lot of people think you need 20% down. That's not the case. Some people, I think I've talked about this in the past, when there's a national study, almost 50% of the people thought they need 20% down to purchase, and you don't. And so right now the rates are super low. Even looking at last week's numbers, they're 3.77%. Right now, a 30-year fixed rate, 3.74%. Yes, basically on Thursday, they were 3.60%. And so they jumped back up, obviously, on Friday. But 15-year fixed rate, 3.37%. A 30-year FHA loan, 3.38%. That's the big magic number I want to talk about for anyone out there, any first-time home buyers, anybody looking to get FHA, government-backed loan. You get down as little as 3% down, and you're owning literally 3.3% is unbelievably low. We've had a bunch of clients, people we've got in here, who literally have bought properties, building equity, and their payments significantly less than it was even when they were renting. And so if you have relatives or people you know, have them reach out to us. We have an amazing program. We're partnered with a bunch of aggressive lenders who can lend the most money for the best rates, and we're able to help get you in there and help them be able to get what they want as well. A jumbo loan, 30-year fixed rate jumbo loan, that's a tongue twister there, 3.79% right now. And a 5-year adjustable rate mortgage is 3.50%. The rates are obviously trending up a little bit towards the late of the week, but the reality is it's still super low. It's kind of something that we haven't seen in a very long time that no one thought would be here. So if you're a home seller, right, you want to play the numbers to your advantage. I'm a big time believer in data and using data to win. And this is a case where you're seeing demand's up, right, inventory is down, and also interest rates are down, driving more buyers into the marketplace. And so if you're going to tee your home up to get the nicest, longest drive, so to speak, make sure you tee up at the right time. Something I've noticed just, from watching the market, I've been in this market since I got licensed December 2004. And so I grew up in the business. My whole family sold real estate, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, grandpa, grandma, entire family. And so the reality is I've watched this for a long time, and you can always tell when you get to that fall market, the different type buyer comes in. Everybody kind of has the summer buyers when they're in the rush. You got kids, they're coming when school's out. Now you're seeing a different type buyer who's coming in. A lot of times more established, some more baby boomers, things like that right now. And so make sure you tee it up. Don't wait till October, November, December. You want to catch this window right now, because what I do find, if you wait till November, this one thing always happens every single year. And that thing is they get paralysis. We call it the holiday paralysis. They'll say, well, we're going to wait to the first of the year. About November 20th, November 15th, everyone says, well, we're going to wait to the first of the year. And so what happens is it becomes a struggle. At the same time, what happens? Your grass looks really pretty right now, starts to turn brown, right? All these things happen, and it doesn't show as well. And so do we still, kick butt year round? Absolutely. But the reality is tee it up to win, right? Play the game to win. If you're looking to move up to a different property, take advantage of the interest rates being super low. Why? Because you have more buying power. On the other side of that, if you're downsizing and you're going to buy something that may not be all cash, guess what? You're going to take advantage of that when the cost of money is so low. We always talk about the number one mismanaged variable in the home buying process is interest rate. They focus so much on price, they don't take into account of how much they could save with interest rate. For example, the client I was talking about a minute ago who could take a 30-year loan, put it into a 15-year, and only pay $100 a month difference. That is something that would save thousands and tens of thousands of dollars in the back end of the loan. that you need someone who can help advise you through that. And so anyone out there, you can always get an online evaluation on my site, blakesloan.com. But we're here as a team to serve the community. We give you a free human valuation, which is actually way more accurate than any computer could have, especially in Myrtle Beach. Our market's so dynamic. You got things close to the ocean, not close to the ocean, in HOA, no HOA. Reach out to us, call us. Anyone you know that's thinking about selling, have them reach out to us because we need inventory bad.
Right, sounds good. Definitely need inventory bad. We're coming up in just a minute. We've got some hot buyer alerts to let you know what it's all about, and some great success stories to get into as well. That's coming up in just a second. Get in touch with Blake Sloan today. It's very easy. Call him at his office at Sloan Realty Group in Myrtle Beach. Phone number is 843-808-SOLD, 843-808-SOLD, or go online to blakesloan.com, blakesloan.com.
Hey, Myrtle Beach, it's Gary LaVox, lead singer of Rascal Flatts. When I'm Moving On won the award for ACM Song of the Year, it struck a chord with folks who understand the challenges that come with life's big change.
Pretty long, right?
I've got about 6.5, 6:45.
All right, we never get the painkillers.
Might get to
out of the contract if you're not happy with their service. That's why in Myrtle Beach, I can tell you that Blake Sloan of Sloan Realty Group markets on a whole different level. Now listen, Blake is so confident in his ability to sell your home quickly and for more money that he guarantees to sell it or he'll buy it himself. If you're moving on, trust Blake to provide your family a stress-free home sale experience. Find Blake Sloan online at blakesloan.com, or you can call him at 843-808-SOLD. Start packing.
It's the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. Time for your hot buyers alerts. Blake and his team working with just a huge amount of home buyers, and they're looking for homes in the Myrtle Beach area. They really need your inventory. So if you're in this vicinity, you've got a home anywhere in the range between $150,000 to $3.5 million, even thinking of selling, call Blake immediately at that same phone number, 843-808-SOLD. 53,000 plus people are looking for homes in the Myrtle Beach area. 53,819 to be exact. That's how many people are on Blake's website right now, actively searching all the time to try to find that next great home to buy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, these are real people. This is something I like to watch and something I'm most proud of in this business because I spend a massive amount of money driving traffic, advertising, been doing that for a long time. One of the biggest advantages that we have as a team is that I can outspend the average agent 100 to 1 from a marketing standpoint. Why? Because our business model is so much different than the average agent. We have a team full of buyer experts, listing partners. We have a team of specialists, not just some generalist who's trying to do everything. What's that do? That gives me much more efficiency from a marketing standpoint, from a conversion standpoint. We have VIP concierge on the inside who helps hand off the ready and willing buyers to people who can handle it. And so the reality is, like, right now we have real people from all over the globe that are searching. And so what does that do for home sellers? It increases the chances that we have a buyer for your property, right? We don't wait till we get your listing to start marketing for buyers. We already have the buyers in the pipeline and continue that going monthly. And so we spend a massive amount of advertising. That's the one thing I think that blows everyone's mind when they sit down, and we literally just open up the curtain, so to speak. When we have a potential client, we show what we do. It's absolutely mind-blowing. A lot of people, we list properties who were agents in other areas, and when they see it, they're just flat out blown away. Because like right now, real time, like Dave mentioned, there's 53,819 people are real people searching, like online. And so like right now, Tracy Rush, Bloomington, Illinois, been on here 983 visits, looked at 1,284 properties. And so she is searching right this second. So big shout out to Tracy as well. Debbie Cox from Myrtle Beach, Derek Peg from Conway, Terry Lindsay from Greenville, South Carolina. We got Indianapolis, Indiana, Hopewell, New Jersey, Kinston, North Carolina. You get my point, right?
Oh, yeah.
From all over the place. And so the bottom line is we need inventory. You mentioned one of the lowest we've seen inventory since we've been tracking it since 2016. Reach out to me, call us. The best thing that we've ever done that really kind of gives me the most reward is when somebody listens to the show and they refer someone they know to us. And we come in, and obviously our goal is to crush it out in the park, hit a home run, and that's what we do, and that's what we live for, really. And so anyone you know out there that's thinking about selling, if you like them, if you don't like them, whatever it is, friend, relative, drag them to the office if you have to, especially when they had a bad experience somewhere else, they couldn't get the job done. We live for excellence. I live for making sure that our team delivers to our clients. Anyone that's been around me can obviously feel the intensity Anyone that works with us can feel that. And so bottom line is we need inventory. Reach out to us, call us. More than happy to share our system with you and show you how we get results when others can't time after time again. And so really quick, I want to get to the quick success stories really quick.
Okay.
Not sure how much time we got, but
Right now, sir.
all right, cool. So Sherilyn and Gabe were stuck in that real estate catch-22. This is the one that you have the most. And kind of explain that. That's, do you buy first or sell first? And so what happened with them is they found their dream home they wanted to purchase, but the problem was, what do you think it is? They had to sell the home that they had first, right?
Yeah.
So this is a cool thing. So they saw that we sold their neighbor's house in 3 days. And so just kind of frame it up for you. All right, Shirley and Glade, they were stuck in their catch-22. They found the house they wanted, but they had to sell theirs first. They had noticed that we sold their neighbor's house in 3 days. So obviously, neighbor gave information. They called us. We met with them, gave a few pointers on what to do to get maximum amount of money, just simple like gingerbread stuff, we call it. We picked a strategy to get maximum dollar, launched our global marketing blitz, professional photos. Within 2 weeks, showed massive traffic, had multiple offers on the property. Now they can move on, buy the other one, confidence, while they're putting maximum dollars. I call it maximum equity back in their pocket. So just because you sold your house doesn't mean you walked away with the most amount of money. That's the one thing to remember when you're thinking about that. Is that are you using somebody who can actually invest in marketing? The facts are the average agent, our MLS, sells about 4 homes a year. So when you're selling 4 homes a year, there's not a whole lot of money to eat with, much less spend in marketing. And so that's why you find most agents just do the 3 Ps, right? They promise we'll get the listing. 2, they put it to MLS. And 3, a price one brings a buyer. And meanwhile, they're running down the road getting the next listing. And so also Iris and James, they previously had their house in the market with a realtor for 6 months, did not sell. Simple, empty promises. It was extremely important for them to get their home sold because they already had purchased a new home, or pretty much put a contract on a new home. And they heard all our success stories on the radio. Reach out to us, launch our global marketing blitz, professional photos, had an offer the home in a couple weeks. Now they're moving on worry-free to the next one. So how much, a minute, 2 minutes? I want to give a shout out to my awesome team. Like I said, we closed 16 deals in the last 7 days just in our team, and that's closed. Big shout out to Randy, had 4 deals closed this past week. Again, he closed in 1 week what the average agent closed in a year. Jeremy had 2. Ren Floyd had 2. Barrett had 1. Alex had 1. Barron had 2. We got a Barron and a Barrett out there for anyone. That's kind of interesting, right? Scott had 2 and Tiffany had 2. And so we got an amazing team of people who are absolutely crushing it and super proud of them. And I'm very, very excited about going to this fall market with interest rates being so low. And so anyone you run across that's thinking about selling and have a question about real estate, here's the deal. My team's here to serve you all. We're here all the time. Just reach out, call us, 843-808-SOLD, myself, or any of the experts on my team. I'm more than happy to help you for sure.
Oh, you've got the information. You've got the people backing you. You've got everybody in your office. You just need somebody to give you a call.
That's right. Lots of them.
Help them all out. That's all it takes is calling up. Well, the phone number, that's easy enough. Give them a call. The phone number is actually really easy to remember. It's 843-808-SOLD, 843-808-SOLD. Go ahead and give a call to Blake Sloan at Sloan Realty Group. If you want more information about the show that you just heard, go online to blakesloan.com, blakesloan.com. Blake, great show. Do it again next week.
Yes, sir. I'll be here.
Sounds good. It is the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan.
Selling your home doesn't have to be filled with drama or having to pay hidden fees. And your friend Sean Hannity here to tell you, as an active investor, I firmly believe in working with the smartest local agents who sell homes in high volume. Prepare your home to create the most demand when it does go on